Here we go. Welcome to Pastors and Pagans, episode 4, Chase in Time, where we are continuing our introduction series and introducing ourselves. Today, our main focus will be Chase. Uh, Chase Kauhane.
Hey, it's me.
Chase is a troubadour and he has moved from the Big Island to Nashville to pursue a professional musician's career.
Yep.
How is that going now, Chase? I haven't talked to you about it in a while. You doing your thing? You still caulking and painting?
I am still painting. But still doing a little bit of both actually. A little bit of painting, a little bit of songwriting, kind of like what I was doing same back there in Hawaii.
You kind of look like you just woke up from a nap. You're not quite all here yet. You need a minute to kind of shake it off, cup of coffee or something?
No, I'm good. This is how I always look.
Chase's eyes in the morning are redder than mine after I've smoked. I love right now your earbuds though. It makes you look like you have an earring in. It's great. I like to picture Chase with an earring.
Good in Nashville.
Oh, good. No more bombs, nothing.
Yeah, other than the bombs and tornadoes tearing up.
You guys have white
other
riots?
than that. White riots? No.
You guys want to talk about the white riots real quick?
Sure.
How awesome was that? I was just talking with Jack about how, I'm not a Trump fan. Anybody out there that's going to watch this in the future, it's not that I'm a Trump fan. I don't vote. I don't believe in our political two-party system. It's a bunch of horseshit. But I'm an idiot, so don't listen to me. But I saw him rioting, and I have never seen anything more patriotic than a bunch of Americans busting into the Capitol building wearing tricorner hats, frickin' horns. That was sweet. It got me really pumped up. I was watching some bitch-ass liberal commentators talk about it. It really irritated me. That was it. Just it got me pumped up. I liked it. Good job.
I thought you would be
out there. Sorry about the 5 years.
I thought you would be pumped up about that.
I was. Not about Trump, just Americans storming the Capitol building. We should do it all the time, every year. Keep it up.
Make a holiday
Attaboy,
out of
America. Add a girl. Add an X. Okay.
I think it's good that you weren't there. I don't think that would be the best group of friends for you to hang out with. That they might not have your best interest in mind, right? So, yeah.
I agree with Jack. It'd be a bad idea for you to be there.
They don't have my best interest in mind because I haven't talked to them yet. We're going to be great friends. No, I'm just kidding. Chase, I don't know how much you want to talk about your childhood or anything. I was just going to ask how, about 6 years old, how did you perceive, your parents were Christians, how did you perceive their beliefs and what did you think of it and believe?
I didn't really think of it much at all, really. I just kind of went to church and was there because they told me. All I knew is that Sunday was a big event to go because there's so many of us, and it was we'd be screaming, yelling at each other, dad would be cussing, everybody shoving us into a van, and then when we get to church we'd be for the good of the hive, we would all act a lot better than what we had just gone through. That's all. That was a lot of 6-year-old Chase, was just for the good of the hive, let's be civilized in church.
That's a good way of putting it, for the good of the hive, because you've got a big family. I mean, it's like a hive.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I feel like the reason we wouldn't act up in public and stuff, it was weird. It wasn't so much the threat of getting disciplined. It was more of for the system. We gotta much like storming the Capitol, not the best idea to the whole system will come down, but Tim might want it to come down, but it's we thought we got to keep this system afloat. Otherwise we don't get to go to church or the beach or anything. So I didn't really think much about what was going on, but I do know around 7 or 8, I started to think that like God was real, and I started to have normal conversations with him, talk to him like a person, because I thought if he's real, then he should be able to interact just like everybody else who's real to me. So I would just have conversations, normal conversations with a God that I didn't know, but what everybody was telling me was real. So I thought, well, he'd be able to
But it was something
understand it.
you just started doing on your own. It wasn't
Yeah,
something you had been told to do or heard. That's awesome.
no.
And what did
So,
you how what did your parents believe? Was it the normal average 7 days of creation, 6,000 years at New Earth?
It
hang on. I
was
think
pretty.
we gotta frame this a little bit better before we jump in. So, how many kids are in your family, Chase?
That's a good point.
There are 7, including myself. That would be 8. So there's 8 of us. So altogether,
8 kids, and you guys are all homeschooled. Okay, now we've got
yes.
the context
Okay, sorry.
of Chase's life.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
8 kids,
Wait.
homeschool.
Wait. I think this that says a lot without saying a lot. And I want to let's go dive into that a little bit. I would say we were not like normal cultish homeschoolers. We were just kind of like trying out homeschooling, and they didn't know what they were doing. And our curriculum changed every year with something that looked cooler than the other one. And it was very chaotic, a lot more going to the beach than actual schooling for me. Personally, I can't speak for the rest of my siblings, but I can kind of speak for the rest of my siblings at the same time. But yeah, that was us. Crazy family.
Back to your original question there before I interrupted.
What did you see their beliefs as? I mean, when you started paying attention.
I saw it as it better be, real. I think, because I kind of wanted it to be real. There was also a lot of other things that were going on, but I did like they presented it as, hey, this is where we believe, but it was never like pressured on us to like believe the same thing that they believed. We never like were told to get baptized. Everything was kind of like we learned ourselves. My dad was kind of like against like churches, so that gets a little weird, which I discovered later on. Like that's how cults start, when you don't want to like assemble in churches, but you feel like you don't need churches, but you should just like do it by yourselves. And like there's a portion of that I started to kind of think that it was like true, but then as time went on, I also realized without like a little bit more of a structure to it, there's no accountability. And so I saw that a lot growing up, no accountability. And so I say right around 7 or 8 is when I actually asked God to do something for me if he was real, and he actually did. I would say this is like one of the few little miracles is that I think it was a miracle. I had a real problem of lying at 8 or 7, like all the time. I would lie about everything. And I didn't know, like, I know a lot of little kids lie, but I remember thinking, this is weird. This is like oddly lying about like everything. It didn't even need to make sense. Like, wasn't even keeping me from anything. I just remember going, this has got to be a problem, because I would lie a lot. And I remember just asking God to like, if he was real, if he could like shut my mouth from lies for around a week. I said, just a week, and that would be like proof. And I was like only 8 or 9, but it was weird. I remember for a week, I could barely even like kind of talk when people would ask me things. But it was weird because like I lied, like when I'm saying I was like lying about like every little thing with no purpose whatsoever. And and I know that probably says a lot about me, but at 8 years old, that was disturbing even for me, where they'd be like, where'd you go? And I was like, I was jumping on the moon. And they'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. And like, I remember thinking, why did I do that? And I didn't know. And so I stopped lying for a week. Then I thought, well, then he's real, because I stopped lying. And then at 9 years old, I got baptized. I started to think about death, and that was scary. And I didn't want to die. I wanted to go into eternity. And death bothered me. I think 9 years old, for a couple multiple reasons, 10 or 9, started to we had some accidents go down in our small town, and some people passed away. And I started to really contemplate that more. So I got baptized in Hapuna Beach by Pastor Adrian from New Hope, and goes on from there.
That's cool. Is there anything different about your fundamental beliefs now than, compared to when you were a child?
Not fundamentally. I think what I've really grown to kind of hone in on,
I should say beliefs about the world, about how the world works, how the universe works, not just religion. I mean,
no, not really. I feel like the everything that the core of me believed back then, I still believe today. But I think I just really started to home in. Like, the biggest thing I think that I've learned of all my years on the planet is like separating man's rules and traditions and then God's. And it's been like very freeing for me, because I started to realize, I still realize that like 95% of the stuff that we do is man's, like things that man has like kind of structured and done, whereas like the most of what God has us do is really simple. And so I think that's something that as I got older, I really started just really honing in on that. And that goes for church or just my own, what I'm going to do with my family. And that, I think that stems up from, I'm just going to say it because it's on my heart right now, but like, I grew up in like, what would you call that? Domestic violence, like a lot of domestic violence going on in the home. And my father was a worship leader at multiple churches. And so I would see that once again, screaming, yelling, everybody get in the van, go to church, dad would worship, and then we'd go back home. And then like on Fridays and Saturdays, you turn into like a whole different kind of monster, And so I feel like that flip-flop going back and forth really just wanted me to go like, whoa, there needs to be something that is like real in this. And because this isn't real. Like what I was seeing was hypocrisy. And so I feel like even to this day, I was so driven for like, gotta find the truth, gotta find something that's real. I just wanted a real faith, And so I feel like that's just the only thing that's grown. My fundamental beliefs have stayed the same, pretty simple. Like I take like I said, when I was 8 or 7, I thought if he's real, then I better just treat him real. Like if he's real, I might as well just talk normal to the God of the universe. If they said that the God of the universe is open to me, then he better be open to me in just a real normal conversation. And so like that hasn't changed. But my focus on finding out what a man says versus what God says, and what man says to do and what God says to do, has been really honed in, I believe. I could be wrong, but
oh, that's cool, Chase. It's funny, before when we were getting ready, I was trying to think of questions I was going to ask, and this is where I start feeling really old, because I think you were like 12 when we first met.
Probably, yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, but what's cool is just what you're talking about. I knew right from then, and it was consistent. It's been consistent all the time that I've known you, is you just you don't put up with nonsense. It's like you want everything to be honest and open and real. And sometimes that would get you in trouble. And I can remember times where you know, your either your family members or your mom or something would say, you need to straighten Chase out. But because I understood where you were coming from, I'm like, I think he's right. I think everyone else is crazy.
Thank you. I really appreciated that support a lot. But yeah, I feel like that. I feel like not that I was always truthful and real, but it was like one of my core things that never went away. I feel like as an individual, it was like, better be real, otherwise it's a joke or it's a waste of time. You know, like it just better be real. Yeah. But I did appreciate that because, and it did get me into trouble a lot. I would be like, I'd call bull crap on something and then everyone would be like, you're only 12 years old. Don't be saying things like that. Like, that's not good. But yeah.
That's awesome. Do you incorporate God or prayer in your music writing and your creation?
Oh, we're going there. Yeah, I do. In fact, I would say that incorporating God in music at a very young age went hand in hand together. But I also treat it like, just for our viewer,
Singular, non-plural,
non-plural, anti-gloria.
Yeah, my dad watches too.
Oh no, no. I feel like over the years, like, of course, like learning to play music and write songs and things was just kind of like little diddly do that I did, and I got better at it. But I felt like I treat music and writing the same way, very much so, that like you should do anything in life. So for like building a house, and if somebody said, hey, I want you to like build a house to these forms, and then we built a gigantic cross instead of the house what they wanted. I feel like, you know, I feel like God calls us to be excellent in our work. And so I feel like that's, I incorporate the Lord in the excellence of my work, but it's for his glory, you know? But I always look at it that way. I don't know why people treat it like something else, where they're like, oh, songwriting is like differently. But like, if somebody asked you to build a house, like, what would you build? You know, I would say it would be a better witness to do a good job and do it with an excellence than do a bad job, not what they wanted. I feel like you would miss the mark, and the Lord would be like, what are you doing? You're being kind of a jerk. You know, so that's how I treat it like that. So yeah, he's incorporated in there.
That's awesome. I of all the Christians I've met, I think I mean you too, but as also another young person, I think I respect you more than anyone
Oh,
else.
oh
You
yeah,
do it
awesome.
good, and you do it right. You look at it. You're always real. You don't try to push it on anybody. I've always looked up to you on that. That's very cool. What do
Glad
you
that that was
see?
recorded.
What do you see? All I
Yeah.
edit this shit out. Uh, what do you see man's purpose as? What do you see your purpose as, and what do you see man as a race's purpose as?
To know God and be known.
What do you mean by be known?
Be known?
Yeah.
Well, I went to church at this this Calvary Chapel in Hawaii, led by a real brilliant man of great faith and deep thoughts. But he taught
I've
me the
heard great things
scriptures.
about that church.
I haven't.
Pastor Duggan over here. No, but that was one of the, I believe, I'm not exactly sure in the scriptures, but one of our core roots as human beings is that we want to be known and know who created us, like know our creator. That's like a desire inside our hearts that we don't know how to like word it properly, and we don't know where it's coming from, but like we want an intimacy on the deepest level. And I think that that's what like Christians call a relationship with God, like a really good relationship. So I feel like that's the secret, that's the mystery, I would say, is like that's what we all are seeking and wanting. And for me, that's great because I'm all about like that truth, that realness. So
Damn, dude, I think you should run a church.
I think so too.
would it be good? You guys haven't seen me teach karate. I was a horrible teacher, but
all right, I got a question for you, Chase. So how has being a husband and a father changed maybe some of your views on the way your Heavenly Father views you, or how has it caused your Christian walk to grow?
wow, these are good questions. I would say patience is the thing that has changed me as a father.
Wait. Let's start with being married because that came first, right?
Oh,
and
yeah, as far as anyone knows.
then
No.
kids came later. So let's start at the beginning. When you, and again, I was there for the whole thing, seeing you meet Megan and your dating process, and just very cool little thing here. The first time Chase and Megan went out on a date, they asked my wife and Candy to come along, and we went on a double date together. It was awesome.
We did. We went and saw Rocketeer, Tim. Have you ever seen Rocketeer?
October Sky?
No.
No.
No. That's more depressing.
Wait, Farmer Astronaut? Astronaut Farmer?
No.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's a great movie, Rocketeer. She had never seen it, so I thought we were gonna see it. And we got a whole theater. But yeah, it was great. I did a great job. I'm just boasting on myself now. But
it was a pretty amazing first date. Super classy dinner, rented a whole theater for just 4 people. It was really well done.
Yep.
But anyhow, back to the question. So how
yes.
For being married, how did that cause you to grow as a believer?
I think being married helped me understand once again just a deeper knowledge in relationships. Being consistent, especially forgiven when you make a mistake in a relationship, to be forgiven. It's helped me understand forgiveness a lot better with being married. I feel like that's something you don't really, because when you get forgiven from somebody that you don't really love, it's not the same as being forgiven when you've hurt somebody you love. I feel like I found that out. We've been married now for 7 years.
You better get it right. You need to get that one right. You're
yes.
kind of along.
Yes.
And
yes,
so
we have.
After you got the whole marriage thing 100% figured out, and now it's all perfect, and then you decided to have kids.
Yes. We were a year in of our marriage, and we got it perfect, and we decided to have kids. And so we have 2 boys now, Judah and Asher. They taught me patience. I feel like they taught me something was great, because I didn't get social media until 2016. And boy, was I glad that I didn't get it until then, because now when somebody puts like a bait and people are baiting each other back and forth, I don't snap to the keys and type what I'm thinking. And I think I learned that from being a father, where like patience and time, because like, you read the scriptures, like the Proverbs, like a wise man is slow to speak. And I feel like everybody thinks that they're being so wise on there, and they're just like blabbering out nonsense. And so I've learned that by being a father, slow to speak, patience, things will come out in time. And my boys have like taught me that, I believe. Yeah.
That reminds me a thing Jack and I were talking about the other day, the Dunning-Kruger effect. They've done tests that show that the lower your IQ, the more important you think your opinion, the more you value your opinion and your view and how you think things should go. So the more people talk, the louder they yell. most likely the dumber they are.
Wow. Wow. Doesn't that just explain like our entire world right now?
It really does. It validated everything I've observed up until this point. Makes
The
me
problem
feel
is that the problem is you can't convince them that they're being stupid. It's like you're actually proving how stupid you are by shouting so loud, but because they're stupid, they can't hear you.
the blind leading the
also
blind.
start to put yourself into a feedback loop. You start saying, well, I don't value my opinion that much, so I must be brilliant. I should value my opinion more.
Dude, it is so very bad. But I like, isn't it like, I don't know about you guys, but like Tim is one of them. Like, well, you're kind of a quiet guy, Tim. And I wouldn't say everything that you say is brilliant, but I tend to listen when you like speak up a little bit, because I'm like, oh, Tim doesn't say much. Now he's speaking. Now's the time to listen. And so
That
it's like,
that came at a hard price from being every time I would open my mouth and say my opinion, I would get beat down and reminded how much of an idiot I am. And over time, it's taken a long time. And at first, I thought that realizing I was an idiot, I might be able to correct it, but no, you can't do that. You
no, but you've become more wise by being slow to speak, even if you're
exactly. You
still an
just gotta
idiot
shut up.
after you speak.
I can't remember if it's a proverb or something my dad said, but something about the fool or the wise man shuts his mouth and appears a fool, and the fool opens his mouth and proves it.
Dude, Proverbs, so good.
I don't know if that's
I mean,
proverb, just the dad proverb. I'm not sure.
oh
No,
yeah.
that's pretty good. And I'd say the same thing when we're at work, and suddenly it's all quiet, and Tim will go, you know what I've been thinking about? And I just tune my ears in. I can't, whatever I'm doing, I just got to listen to whatever Tim's got to say next, because it's always interesting.
Oh, it could be priceless, and you never know if you're going to get the same thing again. It's always different. So I mean, like I apply that to everything. So even if Tim says like nonsense, it's still going to be better than the person that is just speaking all the time. Robbie, no, but I mean, like it's going to be better. So I kind of apply that to everything. Just like whoever's not spoken up in a while, and they do, I'm going to be like, what did they say? Yeah, but.
Remember on that one house where all three of us were working, and you and I, Chase, decided that no matter what idea Tim came up with, we would agree with him and tell him it was a good idea?
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes, I do. And it's too bad.
I didn't know that was a thing until just now.
It's too bad because we were expecting him to do something outrageous, and like what we could have got away with if Tim had actually been on his normal Tim days. But he did it. I feel like you were like surprisingly calm that day, and we were like, oh man. But yeah, we were just like, whatever he goes, whatever he says, we're going with it. We're supporting him. 100%.
No, I remember. So he was on top of the roof, and he was like, I bet I could jump off the roof and land on that sand pile. And you and I looked at each other and we're like, yeah, do it, man. That sounds great. And he like froze because he didn't expect us to agree. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And he gets down.
Yeah, that is awesome. Oh my goodness, the stories! I can't wait until we interview Tim. Oh man, they're gonna be.
That's next week.
Okay,
next week's Tim's
talking. Okay, one more question, Chase. You said that first minor miracle you saw about controlling your tongue, keeping you from speaking, and I think that is interesting that you just had trouble speaking for a week. That's funny. Have you been witness to any other supernatural powers, entities, or miracles in your life that you believe?
Night marchers in Whitefield Valley. No, I haven't.
Oh, damn it.
I know. How cool would that be?
Would be awesome.
No, I have made prayer, and they came to pass about amazing things. I prayed for a refrigerator once with my brothers when we were living in tents, and we got a refrigerator from somebody we never met. I prayed for a $600 check to pay a mortgage with, once again, my brothers, and we were given it by an anonymous source like a week later. And this was in the privacy of our just totally, completely alone because we were trying to pay rent. So I've seen things that I can't explain, and I still don't know who gave the money and stuff. Like nobody does. It just showed up in the mail. So I have seen things that are unexplainable. Oh, and I prayed about songwriting things getting placed, and they've happened, which is awesome. And I don't know if that's from the Lord. I can't actually say that. There was probably just like he might not want me to do that. Get that song placed, but I still took it as like, yay, you know.
I don't have any more questions. So till next week, the three bromigos, pastors, pagans, and worship leaders out.